Hi honey! Today we're going to be baking my Wife Me Up cheesecake. Now why is it Wife Me Up? This cheesecake is so good it'll inspire anyone who tries her to get down on one knee. I'm talking that shared playlist Sunday morning, put gas in your car type of love, and really, it is that dreamy. Even people who don't love cheesecake have told me that they really like this one. So let's get started. Ingredients wise, we have 3 different types of dairy. We have our cream cheese, of course, the star of the show. We have sour cream, quite a lot, a pint. And we have condensed milk. Lemon, I know it looks like a lot of lemon. It is a lot of lemon, but it doesn't taste citrus at the end. It really just helps bring out a little bit of that tanginess in the dairy ingredients and also brightens the recipe so it's not overly sweet. And then of course vanilla, because why not? We're going to start with the crust. So I'm going to set these ingredients aside. We're going to be using graham crackers and butter. I know this is very American. If you live somewhere, international friends, where you don't have graham crackers, look for some type of digestive biscuit, something that is crispy. If you want it to taste as close to graham crackers as possible, look for something with a little bit of honey notes. I'm putting mine in a food processor. Ooh. Worst case scenario, don't worry, you can just get a gallon Ziploc bag and then something heavy to roll out with. I have actually used a wine bottle in the past while traveling, and it does work. It just takes a very, very long time. We're going to pulse this out. We want it to be the texture of a coarse sand by the end. See what I'm saying? Coarse sand. I recently looked into the origins of cheesecake because people are always asking me, is this a New York cheesecake? And I said, I think so. Well, it is. And cheesecake's history is interesting. I mean, it goes back thousands of years, which I guess isn't a surprise. It's not too crazy to combine some type of cheese with honey or something and make a cake. The ancient Greeks were doing it. The Romans did everything the ancient Greeks did. It really took form, though, in New York in the 1870s. This man was trying to make this French cheese and he messed up and he tasted it and was like, wow, this is actually pretty amazing in its own. That's how cream cheese was invented, and shortly after they made cheesecakes with it. And around the same time they started to pair bagels with cream cheese. See, New York, bagels, cheesecake, it's all coming together. Now for the filling. We're gonna beat together the cream cheese and the condensed milk. Critically, for the filling, you need to make sure that all of your ingredients for this are room temperature. That's how you're going to prevent clumps, you're going to prevent unwanted texture, so just please do it, I'm begging you. I have made this mistake many times where I didn't want to wait, and let me tell you, I regret it, so please learn from my mistakes. All right, beat it, honey. I forgot to mention, you're going to want to mix this very, very slowly. That's how we're going to get the silkiness. If you mix it too quickly, you're going to introduce air bubbles and we're going to have all kinds of texture issues. Going to add the vanilla, the lemon juice, and then of course the sour cream. I start by folding them together just so my mixer doesn't go crazy. And again, all the movements we want are going to be very smooth. We don't want to mess with that texture. It's hard to see the white on camera, but it's perfectly smooth, it's perfectly creamy. If you have lumps in here now, you're going to have lumps in the cheesecake. Now I know it would be quite vain to name a cheesecake Wife Me Up Cheesecake by yourself, but I didn't name it. One of my friends did. I had been making this recipe for a really long time, and when I was living in Seattle, someone I made it for just said, oh my god, this is so good, like wife me up, wife me up. That's what you should name this cheesecake. So thereonforth, it has been known as the Wife Me Up Cheesecake. Okay, I've seemed to have gotten it all over myself. Might as well taste it. Again, the smoother it is in here, the smoother it will be at the end. Now she's ready to be baked. We're gonna just put it in the oven, 450, 10 to 13 minutes. You'll know when it's ready. It'll be pretty firm. If you hit it on the side, you'll still see a little jiggle in the middle, but That is gonna set in when we cool it overnight. I've chilled the cheesecake overnight and now I'm gonna decorate. For my cheesecake, I'm gonna use both fresh berries and also frozen berries. This is just pure raspberries and I've made a little compote. So a little bit of sugar and cornstarch, okay, maybe a lot of sugar. But you want it to kind of have this thickened quality to it if you're gonna create a topping, just so it stays in one place and you can really arrange it in a way you want. So since I have this little imperfection here on the side from my filming incident, I am going to create a half moon shape or crescent moon shape. I think that'll be really pretty. And I will add my compote and then layer the fresh berries on top so I can just organize them, but I still have all the coverage from the sauce. The decorating is fun, but it always scares me. You don't want to blow it in the 11th hour here. This is also why it's nice that this recipe has to chill overnight or at least 6 hours, because you start fresh again when you decorate. And I always find if I decorate back to back with the baking, my results are never as good because I just want to get it over with. I'm not as careful. Sometimes I'm hungry. So definitely enjoy that little gap that you have naturally from this recipe. So now I'm gonna layer fresh raspberries on top. I'm gonna kind of do them to the side a little bit. I think they're very tall, so if I peek them up, it's gonna look a little wonky, so I think sideways is gonna be better here. Does not need to be perfect. I'm kind of just going off the shapes that feel right. I don't really have a full plan here. I'm just trying to fill it out and cluster them a bit and not have them all face the same direction. Okay, I do think I'm gonna cut a few, just so I can fill in some of the gaps, and my berries are a little smaller to do that with precision. And I'm wearing white too, so this is just incredibly dangerous. Gorgeous. Okay, you know, I think that looks really, really lovely, and I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. I don't wanna overcrowd it and ruin a good thing. Wow, so beautiful. Finally, time to take a bite. That's really good. I'm gonna polish the rest of this off. Thank you so much for baking with me, and I hope to see you next time.